Collectible trading cards. Oh man, the bread and butter of any manga, anime thing in general, honestly. These suckers are what makes money, no lie. So, I am a big board game guy, so these things are right up my alley. So I'm going to show you the ones I started out with at first. These are Yu-Gi-Oh! These are the last survivors of a dying race. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, sometime in that area. And I used to have like this, me and my brother used to share this big white box just filled with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Have you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh? Have you ever watched the anime for Yu-Gi-Oh? I would love to hear it. But Yu-Gi-Oh! As a series started out as a manga, and it became something much bigger, which I think is freaking awesome. But the game itself now, I'm not a big fan of now, due to it becoming more corporate. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Right down here, like I said, started as a manga. This was not meant to make profit, not meant to like make money on trading cards, right? And it was meant to be like a story thing, right? And then it became this ugly, ugly monster. Makes me really sad, honestly. Because I would say, mechanically, the game probably peaked at 5D's level stuff. And Xyz is still really good, but like, it peaked around that point. If you don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I would say it's fairly similar. It's a very different card game to like Magic the Gathering, which is awesome. Because a lot of these other games are very similar to Magic the Gathering. It uses like creatures that you can play and then sacrifices some bigger creatures, and you get to play like spells, and you have to like defeat your opponent with like defeat your opponent by getting their health points to 0. And it's a really creative idea, especially for the time. And like I said, nowadays it's just, what the heck's going on? Nowadays there's so many different mechanics that really just don't work for a series like this that I'm not a big fan of. But there's millions and millions of players still playing this game and loving every second of it. So I'm obviously still in the minority. But if you do play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I would love to hear what type of deck it is and like what you play and all that stuff. Because I've had like very small sparks of inspiration of like jumping back into it. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but like, yeah, I would be interested in hearing what your deck is and if you still enjoy it. And if you're an old Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, what's your opinions on like the changing formats and of the different types of monsters now that they have, special summoning, all that stuff? The Pendulum was when I dropped out. I was like, that's stupid. To me, it was like stupid. I was like, no, I'm done with it. And then now they added like special summoning. It doesn't work anymore. You have to have like this specific creature out in the middle of the field to like specifically allow you to special summon or something like that. It's really weird now, and I'm just a little bit confused. And if you are a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, maybe you can like explain it to me and tell me like how you enjoy it or like how it's like, because I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just where I started. But for something that really took my heart at the beginning was Pokemon cards. Like, if you're a kid, like, you gotta collect them all, man. Look at this. I have a crap ton of Pokemon cards. I'm gonna try to go through them all. These, like, lasted a little bit longer. I think I kept collecting until about 2016 on these. And if you go through them, you'll notice I have some really old cards from like the Jungle and Team Rocket area, which are worth a decent chunk of money, like the $10, $15 area. Those are very special to me, and these cards in general are. I probably will never get rid of my Pokemon cards, especially the older ones, because those were gifted to me. See, look, that's a whole thing of old ones, and I love them. Love the artwork. But those were gifted to me when I was about 9, when I just came out of a heart cath, to expand my left ventricle, I believe. And I greatly appreciated that gift, and I will probably never get rid of it. I will never get rid of that. And it means a lot to me that they gave that to me, and they cared for me that much to do that. So yeah, I got that heart cath back in like 2012. So these cards were like you know, a lot cheaper back then. I think all the old cards, see like this Hitmonchan $6. I keep the stickers on here because I think it's funny, because like you get to see how the prices change, you know, from what it was. This one's $1. I don't know if these are still $1 or not. They probably aren't, since the whole Pokemon card boom and the beginning of crap. I'm trying to get this better for y'all so I can see it. Move it up a little bit. Since the Pokemon card boom of last year due to COVID-19. And yeah, it's just really cool. Ooh, this one was one of my favorites. This one right here. This was like from one of the first packs I got. Was this one? Dolphin. I never like used him as like a deck, but he was a really cool looking one. I have a deck. I do have a deck, and it's really solid for casual play. It's really fun. Well, it's fun for me. Everyone else hates it. It's a poison, paralysis, confusion deck, where I'm just trying to make you stall. I'm just stalling with this Krogunk that's got this stupid move. Holy crap! For one psychic mana, you can poison your opponent, right? And then if you flip a coin, if it's heads, you give it paralysis as well, or if it's tails, it doesn't work, right? So then you just stick them in a paralysis confusion state, and it's just, they're stuck. They can't do nothing. And you just do that every turn. Ooh, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part right here. I got an Alakazam. Love that card. I got Abracadabra, Alakazam. Which is super dope because, like, not the whole lineage, which is awesome. Got some more, like, Hypno. Haunter. Oh, I got a Gengar too. Sabrina's Gengar. It's just really cool. Just a lot of these old cards. Oh, here's the bad one. This is the bad one. This is one of my favorite ones. It's my Mewtwo. My Rocket's Mewtwo. This one is my prized possession because it's Mewtwo, and it's just super dope. Nobody would ever play with me though when I would like play. I'm like, yo, let's play Pokemon. Brother's like, no. I'm like, why? He's like, your deck. I'm like, what do you mean? These guys, I believe, is it this one? Yeah, this one right here. This card's stupid. Literally, this card's stupid. All you need to do, right, is play this card. You just place it on your bench, and you draw up to 7 cards, which is just stupid. And for my deck, which is, that's mainly like a couple cards, it's meant to like dump my deck. It's meant to dump my deck. It's supposed to stall so I can dump my whole deck into my graveyard using like the Professor cards. So like dump your hand and draw 7 cards, right? And I do that multiple times. And that's so I can play my Vespiquen. My Vespiquen deals damage equal to the amount of Pokemon in my deck. So it's just, there's a lot of rubbish Pokemon in the deck, just so I can just dump them, right? Not really rubbish cards, but like they're not like required for the deck. If I was building it for like super competitive stuff, but for dumping purposes, it's hilarious. It's because, you know, you're getting like stupid amount of like Pokemon in there, because it counts evolutions too. So you just go stupid. I believe there's like 12 or 13 Pokemon in there. No, there's more than that. There's probably more than that. It's probably like 13 or 4. There's a lot of Pokemon in there. And like you just keep dumping them in there, and then you just Vespiquen just one hit kills everything. Especially since my brother at the time had a deck that was based off of Groudon EX and Mega Groudon EX from like the Pokemon Championship 2015. Another foil. That's cool. And that one was super frustrating for me because I could never beat it. Because, you know, he bought his way to victory, which, I mean, if you play card games, that's what you do. But he beat me that way every time. I could never beat him. So I specifically made a deck to beat him, since Groudon EX's weakness was, drumroll please, grass type. So Vespiquen was grass type. I'm like, poggers, you're dead now. So like I would just dump my whole deck and just one-shot his whole deck because it was based on fighting types. And the second weakness was psychic on fighting types. So that was pretty dope and freaking hilarious for me, because that's the 2 main things I would use in it. If I remember correctly, I also used a Gardevoir also. It was one of the really good ones from like 2007. I don't have the deck on me at the moment. It's somewhere in storage since I'm getting ready to move. But it was really funny, because like let's play Pokemon, you know, and you're just like, he doesn't know what my power is. Oh, there goes my Yu-Gi-Oh jacket. What power that I have. If we're talking about like favorite cards though of all time, favorite card of all time easily is my Full Art Ampharos EX. Why is it Ampharos EX? Very simply, I love Ampharos. Ampharos is just an amazing Pokemon. He was my main on Coliseum. I love its design and its look and what it is. It's cute. It's cute but serious, and I want to pet it and hug it and all that stuff. Hopefully it won't electrocute me, but those are all my actual Pokemon cards. These are like Pokemon item cards. So like in the game, you can put these in here. And this is like something that I'm not a big fan of in Pokemon, the trading card game. I don't really play the game because it's just not that fun, in my opinion. But pretty much competitively, every deck uses the same type of items and supporter cards. Like there's like a basic type, so it's like, oh, everybody uses this, right? So then it doesn't lead to a lot of fun deck building because there's a certain amount of cards that are just good in everything, which makes me really disappointed. I really wish, there's a lot more variety when it comes to supporter and item cards, because a lot of people just use the same stuff. Here's some more I got. These are really cool. I love these because these are all of the gym leaders, right? And some of them are foil, and they just look cool. I like how they look. Team Rocket cards, that's just dope. Keep going, some more cards. Look at this. Isn't that one cool? It's a promo of Scoop Up. And it's like all shiny and foil. I don't know if you can see it on the screen right now, but it's really dope. And where's Misty's Kiss? Is that it? Misty's Wish. Maybe it's Misty's Wish. That card got censored in here in America, and because like she was naked on it. But you couldn't see it, but it was like naked, and for like a children's card game that was too much, so they censored it. This one's also censored. It used to have like the peace symbol for Japan, but like some bad people used it and they had to change it. But there's rare candies too, really dope. Some Pokeballs. Let's see what else is here. Some more stuff. Oh, look at the gems. Gym leaders. Stuff. It's really cool going through these because I don't, like I said, I keep these in here. I don't really play with them because like these are my like prized possessions. Even when I was younger, I'd like, don't mess with these. And then here's some energy cards. This one's really cool. It's a foil fighting one. My brother has a couple of these. I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of glare. I apologize if after I'm going through this, like I'm like, oh, this one's a great card, right? And you're like, what the frick? I can't see it. So I hope you can see them. Anyway, I have a lot of electric because electric was another deck I really enjoyed. But yeah, a lot of those, and fire. Fire was cool too. I've built a couple decks based on those, and dark type was another cool one too. But right now, poison, the Vespiquen deck is just stupid. To me, it's stupid because like it's just my brother hates it. Like there's no point in you like playing against me because I've literally built the whole deck to beat Logan, my brother. And it's just funny, honestly. Really freaking funny. But like I said, I never played the game, right? I never played it that much. It wasn't like, oh, I'm buying the cards to play with them. No, I bought them to collect them, which is different from the game I'm going to show you, and where I dump my most money into when it comes to toys or board games and card games, stuff like that. Got them in my Yu-Gi-Oh jacket right here. Here we go. You ready? Intensity. Dragon Ball Super card game. This is my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite card game. It's one of my favorites, or at least was. I haven't bought any new cards since the pandemic hit in 2020, which made me really sad. Nowadays they got stuff like the Planeswalker type cards and all kinds of other stuff. I'm worried that they're going the way of Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'm super worried about with like all the new stuff they're adding. So I'm gonna have to check back in with it when I eventually jump back in it. But I love this game so much, and the main reason why was at the time. It's a bit different now because of the card game boom. But at the time, the cards were stupidly cheap. But not like stupidly cheap in the way where you're like, oh, it's not worth to buy a pack. The boxes came in like 24 packs. So you got 24 packs in a box, which was about $100. A little give or change, it was like about $75 if you bought it brand new at like a LG local game store. But you can buy them online for like $40, which is stupidly cheap. And my favorite one, World Martial Arts Training Arena, could be bought for like 20 bucks. Which has my favorite deck, which I don't have here right now. It's in the storage area. But this came in like, this is like a small box of just like less competitively viable decks. So let's just jump into it. So the first one I want to talk about is this one. Okay, I lied. This is actually my favorite deck. Maybe. This is my Goku and Zamasu deck. Goku Black and Zamasu deck. This sucker is disgusting. Like, I make people throw up with this deck. So how the deck works, okay, is if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, you would know what ramp is. Ramp is the idea that you give your opponent mana or like lands, right? Lands is what you can use to like play spells immediately, right? So for example, like a card will say like I have to have, it's a 5 cost, right? So then you have to tap 5 lands or mana, or in this game it's just cards, right? You just need to tap 5 cards, and you can play it. But with this game, like, and you can only play, usually if you don't have a card that lets you ramp or play more than one a turn, you can only play 1 card a turn, usually, right? But my deck's like, hey buddy, I'm your best friend, right? Hey, I'm gonna give you an extra energy so you can use. Yeah, anytime you want, man, no problem, right? I got you, homie. And every time I pull this deck out, they're like, what the heck are you doing? You're giving me stuff. Are you stupid? They're like, yo, cool, thanks. I appreciate that, right? And then, once this card gets to its flip side, which is another cool thing I like about this game, each card has you have a leader card, which has an ability on it. And once you hit a threshold on it, you're able to flip it. And the flip ability is usually stronger, right? And this guy's ability, no joke, is like, so all this whole game, they're like, oh man, you're so sweet for giving me all these free energy that I can use to play big monsters, right? Big scary creatures. And I'm like, hey, boom, play his final ability. Once per turn, if your opponent has, I believe it's 8 energy. Yeah, 8 or more energy, which is stupidly easy with this deck. You can do it like by turn 4 or 5. And they're like, if your opponent has 8 or more energy, you take 4 of their life and shuffle it into their deck, right? And in this game, you want to get to 4 life as quickly as possible because you're able to flip it on a majority of the cards. Some are a little bit lower, like Baby Vegeta needs like 2 life to flip because he's super strong. But this one needs like a certain amount of energy out. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So you only have 8 life in your character, right? You can only have 8 life 90% of the time. I don't know what it is now, but that's what it used to be, right? You can only have 8 life in your thing, and every time you would get hit for damage by creatures or by their leader card, you would take a life, unless it said otherwise, right? So, like, you're swinging each turn, they're taking cards, which is good, right? If you take cards, you get more cards for your hand to use for more resources. And they're like, yo, this is pretty good, I'm getting more cards and I'm getting more energy. I'm like, that's awesome, right? And then you just like, boom. My whole plan this whole time was to kill you right here, right now, when you had 8 energy. Like anime character, you're like, 8 energy time, you're like, Thanos snap them out of existence and you win. And then in round 2, they're like, alright, I know what you're doing. I don't like it. So then they won't ramp. And I'm like, please ramp. I'm like, buddy. You're screwing yourself over. And then, if they don't ramp, there's a way in the deck where you could just, beat the crap out of them, which is fun. Like, this is a Masu card right here. This is an invincible, 30k. When it attacks, choose 1 card from your opponent's battle area. So, like, this would be in your battle area, right? So, a card in your opponent's battle area. Energy and life, and place them at the bottom of their deck in any order. So, if they're not wanting to ramp, you're like, fine, you don't get any energy. Fine, you don't get no creatures. Fine, you get no life, Get out of here. And it's just fun. This deck's stupidly fun and annoying. For majority of card games, I play either 2 decks. It's either I'm getting the game done as soon as possible, or you're sitting here with me right now and you're going to play for a 5-hour game. And either way, people hate me either way. And I gotta say, man, it's freaking funny. So for Dragon Ball Super, I go the stall game, which is just slowing the game down to a creeping halt. And I'm just making people annoyed. For Magic the Gathering, I'm an aggro guy. I like, get me the heck out of here. Get me quick as I can to win to get to game 2, right? And for Magic, I play Krenko and Locust God Commander decks. And those are stupidly fun to play with. This one's really cool. This one's a Dende Frieza deck. So basically, Dende has the ability to dump cards into the graveyard, or the drop area. And that's really good for this deck, which is about Frieza. And if you know the movie, you know he gets resurrected a bunch, right? So basically, the whole deck is just you keep summoning Frieza to win the game. A bunch of different Friezas. This one's the strongest Frieza. He taps everything, and is a triple strike, which means he deals 3 damage instead of just 1. And he's just stupidly strong. And this one's a fun deck, but it's not my type of deck, right? Like I said, I'm an aggro or control guy. Like, let me play the game as quick as possible, or let me play the game as slow as possible. I'm not here to make friends or whatever. And mid-range does that. I don't really find mid-range that fun, because it's slow. And it's not like the fun slow, like where you're toying with your opponent and they're like getting annoyed. It's just slow. So I'm not a fan of that. Here's an aggro deck. This sucker, no joke. Back in like 2019, this deck you couldn't go anywhere without seeing it because of how stupidly broken it was. Now I don't even think it's broken anymore. I think this is like mediocre now. But Broly, this freaking Broly card, busted. What do? Is when you attack, you draw a card and take a life. I'm taking my own life? Why would I want to do that? So you can get more cards in your hand, right? This dude draws cards and takes cards like nothing, right? And he awakens super easily. This is like a turn 2 awaken card. You flip them, bam, bam. Look at that foil card, beautiful. That's one thing I love about this game is it's really beautiful cards. But look at that. And his ability is so freaking stupid, right? I believe it's you take 1 card, yeah, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch them to rest mode once per turn. Stupid. So if he's like got a card that says, you can't attack the leader, you have to attack me first, you know, boom, now you can't. And then you could choose 1 card from your life and add it to your hand, and then you get to switch one of your cards in active mode, which is stupidly strong. I'm gonna tell you why. This deck, like I said, is super, super aggro. And the whole gimmick is using a swap, this mechanic called swap. So basically how it works is it's Goku, right? You have Goku here, and then you swap it out for a card that's also like part of like the Goku lineage, and eventually play this bad boy. This guy's stupid. He uses a 3 damage dual attack, which means he attacks once, he untaps, and you can attack again. This guy's stupid, absolutely broken. I love him though. He's one of my favorite cards. So basically, 1 turn, you could. If you just this 1 card. This isn't talking about the swap cards that you play up to this point. So this is just this card. You're using Broly, all right? You swing once, right? So 3 damage, right? This guy's 35k. You're gonna have to dump a bunch of cards to get him 3, right? So 35k, triple attack. So 3 damage, right? And then he untaps, and then he attacks again because that's his ability. He can attack twice. So 6 damage. Broly says, "Hot psych!" He can swing again. Meaning he's dealing 9 damage, and when your life total can only be 8, that's stupid. You're gonna run out of cards really quickly if you're going against this deck, which is annoying. Annoying if you're going against it, but if you're going up with me with it, it's fun. But basically, you can go a little bit further. Usually, you don't like just plop them out. Usually, you have this guy out first. You're like boom, and you swing, right? And then like, he's just swinging with that, right? If you don't know the deck. If you know the deck, you're like, no. I'm taking the 1 life, you know? And then you swing with this, and then you evolve, you swap into this bad boy. So you're dealing about, hypothetically, 10 damage. If you don't count Broly. And if you count Broly, it's 11. In 1 turn. 1 turn. It's stupid. If you don't kill him by then you've lost. Which is funny because my other deck, my Zamasu deck I was talking about earlier, actually just says no. This deck's poo poo. You know, Zamasu just wins some of the times. If he gets the right cards, he can win. but you have to be very careful with it. But yeah, this deck's really fun, along with my Goku Black and Zamasu deck. If you've never played the Dragon Ball Super card game, I definitely suggest it. It's a lot of fun, and is one of my. It's not my favorite game to play, but it used to be. If you're talking about like decks, I mean games that like have like a standard mode, which is like you can only like a very it's the basic rules, right? Then yes, that's my favorite version of the of a card game to play is that. I love the rules. I love how it plays. My favorite card game though is Magic the Gathering Commander format, and that's just a lot of fun because you get a lot of variety because there's no limit to what cards you can use. And since the game's been out for over 30 years now, I believe, you just have a lot of fun with just picking and choosing cards. Anyway, I'm gonna show you one more thing in the Dragon Ball Super card game, which are my prized possessions. This was back in the day when I used to play a lot, like a lot. I would buy, I only bought like 2 booster boxes, but these didn't come from booster boxes. This just came from regular opening up packs at my local game store. And my local game store was freaking funny because like anytime I pulled them out, he was like, bro. He's like, are you kidding me right now? Like, you joking? I love that store so much. The dude who owned it was super cool and chill. Anyway, these 2 cards right here in these thick slacks are a couple $100 each right now. Back when I checked, this when I first pulled these cards, this one went for $70 and this one went for $420. Now I believe this one's going for $200, and I believe this one's also going for about $200. But it's been a while since I've checked. But these are my favorite cards. I would probably never get rid of these unless I'm like dire need of money. But let me show you why. Boom! SS4 Vegeta Secret Rare. The secret rare in this game, when you pull a pack, these are like stupidly hard to get, and usually are like stupidly foil and just gorgeous cards, right? It's amazing, right? This was the first ever Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta card ever printed, and I'm a huge fan of Super Saiyan 4. And I pulled this card, like I bought my friends a pack. So I remember like it was like today, like I pulled this really rare card. It was like $30. And I was like, I'm trading this in. And he's like, all right. And I traded in for some more packs, right? I grabbed some packs, and I was giving them to my friends. Like, here you go, guys. You can have some packs, you know, because they were just getting in the game. And I was like, yeah, I'll give you some packs, since the card I got was like technically free. And I was just opening my pack, and it was like, you know, and like I see the 8 like shiny side with the. I'm like, no. I was like, oh. I'm like, no. I didn't pull that. And I open, I'm like, holy freaking crap. You know, like the YouTube stuff, like, oh my goodness, I pulled the, you know, Charizard or whatever. That's what it was like. I was like, holy crap. And I remember, I picked it up, and they're like, dude, are you okay? I'm like, oh, it was funny. It was hilarious. So I run over to the dude up at the desk, because, you know, we were good buddies and whatnot. And like, blam, I slapped it on the desk. SS4 Vegeta. He's like, whoa, okay. And I was like, oh man, I was so excited. He's like, oh my goodness. He's like, hey man, if you ever want to sell it, you know, I'm always here. I was like, oh no. And at the time, I was seriously considering selling this card, which I'm glad I didn't. I think it's backwards. No, it's not. Okay, I really wanted to sell it because I was needing a car at the time, and one of my friends' mothers owns a, what are those places called? Where you get your car fixed? A repair shop. There we go, a repair shop. And I was like, I want this car, right? So I was like, let's do it. So I was thinking about it. I was like, actually, let me think about it. So I thought about it for a little bit, and that Christmas, because it was like the next week, right? I got a car. I got the car for Christmas, and I was like super excited about it. It was a cheap car. It was like $500. But that was the only thing I got for Christmas that year. I was like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. I was so excited about it. But the car had a problem. It had some trouble. So having to fix for repairs, but got some repairs done with it, and it's working great right now. It's a BMW 2004 325i. Really great car. I love all the leather seats and all that jazz. So this card had a little bit of a story with it, and it's funny. Now this one's also got a story to it. This one is my favorite card of all time. This is my favorite card ever. And that's because Hit's one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Super. And this story, how I got it, because I never actually pulled this card. This wasn't my card originally. I pulled a signature Gohan, right? And I'm not a Gohan fan. And the signature version of him was from like his adult version, so I was like, eh. But the guy I was playing with when I pulled it, I went up to the store owner. I was like, look what I just pulled. And I'm like, yo, this is awesome. I'm like, you know, it'd be great. I was like, but I was kind of wanting the Hit version, right? I wanted a Hit signature. And the guy was standing right there. He's like, hold up. He's like, I got a Hit signature in my car if you want it. So if you want to trade, I said, yeah, let's do it. So I ended up trading my Gohan for this and a couple other cards to like make it even or whatever. And now those cards are worthless, but this card right here was the one I was so happy about. Like, oh my word, it makes me so happy to have this card, because I love Hit in Super. I would never use this card. This card's, even at the time, was pretty bad. Even if his deck was really unique, which in the game, like I said, you have 2 backs, and when you awaken, you have to stay that way, right? But on Hit, your opponent would be forced to like flip back over and be weak. But the big weakness of his deck was that he could still awaken at any moment, which was just not really good. But this card would like stop it or whatever. But it was cool. I would never use this card, like I said, but I love the artwork on it. And one thing I gotta say about Dragon Ball Super card game compared to other card games is it's actually super fair when it comes to getting cards, right, that are actually worth something. Whenever I play like Magic the Gathering and I'm like trying to pull packs, like cards for packs, I never get my money back. With Super, I get my money back most of the time, maybe a little bit more, and I greatly appreciate that. If you're buying brand new, if you're buying from like the recent set, you're gonna get your money back. If you go back, you're probably not. Like if you buy the set when it's brand new, you're getting your money back and then some easily. But if you're going from like past sets, I wouldn't recommend it. Buying packs for them. These are stupidly hard to get. Both of these are. This was like a 1 in 4 boxes, I believe. 1 in 4, or 1 in. Yeah, I think it's like, or yeah, I think it's 1 in 4 boxes. I think so. You need to open up about 100 packs, or about $400 worth of packs to pull this card. Something like that. It's a lot of packs to pull this card. And this one's even harder. This one right here, I believe, is 1 in a case. Which a case, I believe, holds 7 boxes, which is like a lot. It's a lot. So I got extremely lucky on these. I have a couple. I have another secret rare, but that one's my brother's. He's got the Red Frieza secret rare, and he's got in his Red Frieza swap deck, which he loves oh so very much. But yeah, these are my favorite cards of all time. And sadly, this is where I'm gonna have to stop it today, as the video's gone on for very long. And we'll go on to part 2, where we talk about Beyblades and some action figures. So without further ado, see you in the next video. Thank you for watching my beautiful Chip Champ. Hopefully you have a fantastic day today. And as always, go out there and read some manga, my friend.